It was an A-26 Invader, a relic of a past war, now a silent monument in an underwater cathedral. A carefully orchestrated effort began, preparing the sleeping giant for its journey back to the surface. With a surge of buoyant force, the wreckage was torn from the grip of the ocean floor. It ascended through the water column, a shadow returning to the world of light and air.
Breaking the surface, the Invader tasted the air for the first time in over half a century.
All right, easy on the drop. Watch that swell on the starboard side. We're almost there.
Finally free, it hung between two worlds, the watery grave it left and the sky it once owned. The final link was forged, connecting the sunken past to the hopeful future of its restoration. The sea relinquished its hold, returning the water it had claimed for so many years.
All right, move in, secure the starboard side. Chains connected, applying tension now. Watch the clearance on the wing.
Beneath the layers of decay, the warrior's true surface began to reappear, scarred but unbroken. As night fell, the Invader returned to land, a ghost arriving at the shores of the modern world.
Easy now, bring it down slowly. Watch the tail section on the left. All right, hold it steady, we're clear.
It arrived at its new home, a sanctuary of restoration, a cathedral of aviation engineering. The chief architect of its revival began his assessment, reading the story written in rust and ruin. Suspended and exposed, every flaw, every scar from its time in the deep was now visible. Now firmly grounded, the long and arduous process of disassembly could finally commence.
Every single component was a battle against time and corrosion, starting with the smallest bolt.
Brute force alone was not enough. The sea's grip was strong, requiring both power and ingenuity.
Modern technology was brought to bear, carefully dismantling what time had fused together.
The plane's entire nervous system had to be removed, wire by wire, to make way for new life.
Powerless and silent, the engine awaited its turn, dripping the last remnants of its former life. The heart of the machine, the massive radial engine, was carefully extracted for its own intensive surgery. To rebuild, they first had to deconstruct, peeling back the damaged skin to reveal the bones within. The pilot's window to the world was removed, a symbolic step in stripping the plane to its core. The pilot's seat, a place of intense focus and courage, was lifted out like a relic. The plane's circulatory system, its hydraulic veins and arteries, were corroded beyond repair and had to be removed. Even the tires, perished and useless, fought their removal, a testament to the power of decay.
Stripped to its very bones, the Invader was finally ready.
The restoration started at the smallest scale, with a chemical bath that dissolved the past away. In hours, the chemical process reversed what the ocean had done over decades, revealing the strength within.
The engine's heart was subjected to a torrent, washing away the grime to prepare for its rebuild.
Every layer of paint was blasted away, taking the metal back to its original, unadorned state. The work shifted from demolition to precision. Every component was measured, tested, and assessed for tolerance. Each part was not just cleaned, but perfected, polished to a standard higher than its original creation.
Piece by piece, the heart of the Invader was reassembled with surgical precision and care.
Even the smallest gear was subjected to ultrasonic vibrations, ensuring absolute purity before reassembly.
The cylinder walls were honed to a precise finish, creating the perfect surface for renewed power.
There was no room for error. Every bolt was tightened to the precise torque, a symphony of clicks. The engine was complete, a masterpiece of restoration, ready to reclaim its power and its purpose. New copper arteries were painstakingly routed, ready to carry the lifeblood that would make it roar again. New hydraulic fluid, the lifeblood of the landing gear, was infused into the restored system. A perfect spin, a silent testament to the precision of the rebuild. It was perfectly balanced.
From flat sheets of raw aluminum, new pieces were forged, shaped to match the Invader's original curves. Each new panel was cut with precision, a custom-fit piece for the complex puzzle of the airframe.
Holes were drilled with perfect accuracy, preparing the new skin to be joined to the original frame.
Every new weld was ground smooth, ensuring structural integrity and a seamless finish. New engine mounts were fabricated, the critical connection between the airframe and its source of power. A layer of anti-corrosion primer was applied, a shield to protect the plane's bones from future decay.
Every new weld was ground smooth, ensuring structural integrity and a seamless finish.
The pilot's throne was returned to its rightful place, the first step in rebuilding the command center.
New eyes for the Invader. The refurbished instruments were installed, ready to report the state of flight.
The controls were reinstalled, reconnecting the pilot's hands and feet to the wings and tail.
A new nervous system, a complex web of wires and connections, brought the aircraft's electronics back to life.
The final polish. The glass was so clear, it was as if nothing stood between the cockpit and the sky.
The Invader's teeth were returned, a reminder of its fierce history and its role as a guardian.
Large sections were rejoined, and the iconic shape of the Invader began to re-emerge from the collection of parts.
With painstaking care, the national insignia was masked off, preparing the plane to wear its identity proudly.
Finally, its personality was restored. The iconic shark's mouth gave the Invader its famous aggressive grin.
The final stencils were applied, the practical warnings that are a vital part of any working aircraft. The restored heart was ready to be returned to the body, a moment of powerful reintegration.
With immense care, the engine was guided home, its mounting bolts securing it for the stresses of flight.
The final arteries and nerves were connected, fully integrating the new heart with the restored body. The blades that would turn power into thrust were mounted, a crucial step towards flight. A final check. The silent, smooth rotation was a promise of the powerful roar that was to come.
The final, critical tightening, securing the propeller with hundreds of foot-pounds of torque.
With new tires fitted, the Invader was being prepared to bear its own weight on solid ground.
A machine is just a machine until it meets its pilot. He saw not just metal, but a partner.
For the first time in years, it stood on its own, a completed masterpiece of engineering and dedication.
He felt the smooth skin, a connection forged between man and machine, ready to trust each other.
He took his seat in the cockpit, a space reborn, ready to command the skies once more.
This was his view, a restored office with a runway stretching out like a path to the heavens.
With a single switch, the darkness receded. The soul of the machine flickered back to life.
A cough, a sputter, and then a deafening roar. The heart of the Invader was beating once more.
The power was immense. A sleeping giant awakened, shaking the very ground it stood upon.
The last restraints were removed. The Invader was now free to move under its own magnificent power. Out of the darkness of the hangar and into the light, its journey to the sky had begun.
It moved down the tarmac with a confident rumble, a predator returning to its natural element. With a steady hand, he commanded full power. The engines responded with a symphony of controlled fury.
Speed built upon speed, the airframe straining, eager to break the bonds of Earth and fly.
And then, the magical moment. Gravity relented, and the Invader was airborne, flying once again. The landing gear retracted, streamlining the aircraft as it embraced its true home, the endless sky.
It flew not as a relic, but as a living, breathing machine, more beautiful than ever before.
In his eyes was the quiet pride of a pilot flying not just a plane, but a legend reborn.
The world unfolded below, seen through the frame of a spinning propeller and a powerful wing.
It danced in the sky, showing off the proud results of thousands of hours of dedicated labor. It danced in the sky, showing off the proud results of thousands of hours of dedicated labor. A thunderous flyby, a salute to the airfield and the team that had given it back its wings. For the restorers on the ground, this was the ultimate reward, the sight and sound of their creation, alive.
As the sun set, the Invader flew through a sky painted in fire, a perfect end to a perfect day. The final approach, a perfect flight concluding with a display of precision and control. A puff of smoke, a perfect touchdown. The Invader was home, its first flight a resounding success. Restored, respected, and flown. The ghost from the deep was a ghost no more, but a living legend.